portfolio. So after you have understood what to study, now the important part is how to study. I've seen a lot of candidates studying passively, which means they'll start reading from page 1 of the book, or they'll just start watching a video passively. That is not how you should study. So you are an adult learner and you already have a body of knowledge. You have studied for close to 20 plus years, so you know something about finance, about maths, about other things. It's important for you to start finding your gaps and filling them up and connecting the dots. So in order to do that, each of our playlists is structured in active learning methodology. We don't want you to start by just watching a video. So we want you to start by getting a curriculum overview and a benchmark of what you already know. How do we do that? This is called pre-learning. You need to see what are the learning objectives from that module and what is the summary. So we want you to be in a mode where you are actively trying to find answers instead of passively trying to consume content when you actually start watching a video. How do we do that? You can read through our active learning approach in each playlist that we provide. What that means is that every module that we have, we will first show you the learning objectives, and you also have note taking capability in the app. So when you see the learning objectives, you should make a note of what you understand from it. Why this is important is it will help you formulate or articulate your initial thinking about the topic. Now, the CFA curriculum is very well structured, and each module has learning objectives, which, if you master, you will be able to pass the exam. It's as simple as that. These learning objectives will have theory related topics such as describe features, etc., which you can see here. They will also have calculation based objectives such as analyze and calculate time value of money or something like that. They will also have compare and contrast based objectives. From the exam point of view, the institute will be testing you not on theory but on calculation based objectives and compare and contrast based objectives, which are more analysis focused. So if you are able to articulate your thinking on these learning objectives, you will not only be able to pass the exam but also build your finance lingo. How this will help you is during your interviews, when you are sitting in front of a director or a partner, you will be able to speak and articulate your ideas better because you did the activity every day for each and every learning objective. So you can take the note for this in the app. When you go to a module, you have notes where you can create notes, or you can make it on a Google Doc as well. But it's important for you to actually do it. So let me show you an example. Let's say I do not understand anything about the curriculum and I see this learning objective: compare direct investment, co-investment, and fund investment methods. My initial thought process needs to articulate what this means, even if it's in basic English. So I can probably just write down alternative investments are divided into direct investments, co-investment, and fund investment. Direct investment is where you directly invest, co-investment is where you invest with somebody, and fund investment is where you invest with a fund. I'm just directly extrapolating the English language meaning of it. I have not added any technical terminology or jargon, but that is my initial understanding. Now I have a starting point. When I start reading the content now, my brain is now actively trying to fill the gaps or find out more information about this learning objective. That's what we will do next. You will also have summary available of the learning module before you start. It gives you in a very succinct manner what the author of the module wants you to know. So for example, this is the first learning objective: describe features and categories, compare direct investment, and describe investment. Reading through the summary, you need to actively start updating your knowledge. So let's say I'm going through this. I understand, okay, alternative investments attract investors through this thing. These are the common features. These are the main categories: private capital, which includes private equity, VC, private debt, then we have real asset, then we have hedge funds. So there are three main categories: private capital, real assets, and hedge funds. So just based on this, my LOS summary now is much more improved. Now I understand more What you're doing with this activity is also becoming accustomed to the keywords that you need to know to understand this module. There might be many things which you do not understand within the first go, but now you know what you do not know. And when you are looking at the video or reading on the PDF, you will be able to search for those terms specifically and get the answers. So, this is essentially what pre learning is. You're priming your brain to start looking for answers instead of passively trying to study and find out what is important, what is not. After pre learning, now you know the author's viewpoint, what he deems is important from the exam point of view. The next part is practicing. You may be wondering, why am I practicing questions when I haven't learned anything? But that is a fallacy. You have already learned something, and you will be surprised to know that you may be able to answer some questions. Another important aspect of this exercise is you already know the keywords that the author feels important. When you start practicing questions, you will get to know the patterns or the questions that the examiner feels are important. Both of these things may not be always aligned one to one, because sometimes an author might focus on a topic explanation more, whereas from the exam point of view, only the calculation aspect of it might be important. So you will have a 5-question quiz before you deep dive into watching a video. This will help you establish your initial benchmark. So let me show you how to do the quiz. So right now I'll just attempt it to keep the video shorter. I'll mark all of them as A. You can see the quiz has varied lengths of questions, and it is testing you on a lot of different topics that are essential from exam point of view. For example, this is a question. Previously we had a compare and contrast one. The goal of this quiz is to find out your strengths and weaknesses, match them against the important learning objectives from the exam, so that we can level you up faster. Our goal is that you should be able to answer all the question patterns of these learning objectives so that you pass the exam. So I'll continue marking A in all of those. So you can see I got 2 correct just by luck as well. And that is also part of the CFA exam, because there are only 3 multiple choice options and there is no negative marking. So just by sheer luck, you have a 33% chance of getting the question right as well. But the important point to highlight here is that you won't be able to see the solutions right now. You just know that you got 2 correct or 3 correct or 0 correct. This is important because after studying, you will be able to see how much improvement or return on time you actually got. And you will be able to match the solution from your understanding as well. So now you can move to the learning part. You are now primed to look for answers from the pre-learning phase and the practice phase. Look at these video links. You can complete these lessons if you are commuting, if you are having a coffee break. So your learning needs to be continuous. And since it's on the mobile, you can learn on the go anywhere. Now, after you have gone through these videos, we will show you the quiz again. Let me show you, walking through it quickly. I do not know the answers, but I may get a bad score on this, but just for the sake of showing you, I again got 2 correct. But now I have an option to review. So you can see you will get the detailed answer explanations to each and every question that you had in this way. And you can always go back and see you had 2 questions correct, and afterwards you got whatever number of questions correct. Let me show you a quick example of how it looks like on the web app as well. So on the web app, you can see in another profile, I had only 1 question correct, and then I got 2 correct. So this is a 20% improvement within a 30-minute time period. Like whatever is the time period of the playlist that you did, imagine being able to solve 1 extra question within 30 minutes. And obviously, I was just marking the answers randomly. If you are actually studying, you will be able to push this score from 1 correct to 5 correct, because you will be able to solve those questions after you watch the videos. When you see that within 30 minutes, you are able to go from 0 to 100%, you will get the familiar dopamine kick that you usually get from watching reels as well. You will become addicted to learning.